Hi, and welcome to Chapter 4, What to Do at a Networking Event. We're going to give you some hints and tips, so I hope you've got a pen and paper ready.
Perfect.
Excellent. So what we're going to do is thinking about when you're going to a networking event, if you're a little bit nervous, don't worry about it. Try and see if you can bring a friend, because obviously that's going to make you more comfortable. If you're still nervous and you can't find a friend, build up that courage and still go and, just take a few deep breaths and find someone in the room that you think you're going to be able to connect with straight away.
Perfect. So when you go to these events, you have to have lots of fun. And I know that sounds pretty daunting and scary, especially if you don't know someone. But yeah, as Cindy mentioned, bring a friend. That will help you feel a little bit more confident. And just know that everyone is in the exact same boat as you are. So once you're having fun, have a lot of focus. And what we mean by focus is when you go to these events, if you do go with a friend, you don't want to be chatting to your friend at that particular event, and we've seen it all the time. So it's good to bring a friend so you feel confident, but it's also good to have a focus. And what we mean by that is really meeting somebody in particular. So if you're from a particular industry and you want to meet somebody from a related industry, you should most probably speak to the host and say, well, who's here at the lunch today, or the breakfast, or the after 5, and who do you think would be a good matchup for me? The host has a really good idea of who's in the room, and sometimes if you're new, it's a good opportunity to just work out who's who and identify the key players.
Maybe even ask a friend to help you, find that particular person that you're looking for as well.
Yeah, definitely. And some events have trade tables, and it's similar to this, where there's business cards and brochures laid out. It's a really good way of finding out who's in the room and really identifying the people that you want to meet. And if you find that a little bit daunting to go up to somebody one-on-one, definitely ask the host to introduce you. They'd be more than happy to.
Absolutely. And it's all about, understanding the environment that you're in and, understanding that it's quality, not quantity of the contacts that you want to meet, at the event. There's no point handing out 30 cards very quickly over that half an hour or an hour and not knowing not one of them a little bit about themselves or what have you. It's if you get 2 or 3 quality business contacts, understanding a little bit about themselves and a little bit about their business, I think that's more productive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is like a really hot tip with networking. It's called the circle of influence. And what it means is, like, I don't know, Cindy, have you been to an event and you've dismissed somebody because you don't think that they could add value to you or they wouldn't be related to your industry?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I'm very guilty of that too. And I've learned that if you dismiss somebody straight away, you're missing out on their circle of influence. And what we mean by that is their family and their friends and who they know. So say if you meet somebody and they're not quite an instant fit right now, their clients, their friends, their colleagues could possibly be a client or a consumer or a customer of yours. So it's about getting to know that person, who they know, and like now these days they've got newsletters, social media, and they might not necessarily be a good contact, but their family and friends might be. So don't dismiss anyone straight away, and when you meet somebody, just keep in mind their circle of influence. And when you're at these events, try to sit next to somebody that you don't know.
Yeah, it does get a little bit hard because you do want to catch up with someone you haven't seen for a while, but I agree, definitely. So networking isn't about stop-starting, it's being consistent like we've talked about in a previous chapter. It's really having that consistency, and regardless of whether you're busy or not, when you do end up having quieter times, it's good that you can then follow up those contacts that you've already obviously met. Obviously, if you're busy over the next 2 months, if you're going to try and meet someone at a networking event, don't promise that you're going to follow them up with an email or a phone call if you know that you can't.
Yeah.
Just have that integrity and, just politely say, look, I'm really busy. I've got a really big project on. Happy to meet with you, but let's forecast it that we can meet within the next 2 months rather than promising that you can meet with them within the next 2 weeks.
Perfect. And then Cindy, I think we've got really good at this now, and this is like the hottest tip that you can do at any networking event is to book a meeting at a meeting.
Bam.
Yeah. So what we mean by that is basically when you come to an event, it's great, but what you really want to do is walk away having booked a coffee or a lunch? What would you recommend?
Yeah, absolutely. Or a telephone conference these days, particularly if, there's a distance or there's a time factor involved. Definitely be proactive in what you can achieve in a win-win situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to give you a bit of summary, on what to do at a networking event is definitely to have fun, have focus, bring somebody along if you don't know anyone, but if not, ask the host for some help. Try to find out who their family and friends are, and more importantly, book a meeting at that meeting, because if you do, you will definitely see the results and your network grow pretty fast.
So, enjoy.